Come on.
If you're a makeup effects artist and somebody comes and slaps the script for Dawn of the Dead on your desk, you're gonna kind of go, are you shitting me? Or are we really gonna do this? After I read that and got through the initial shock, I had a meeting with Zack Snyder, and he pretty much by himself acted out the whole script.
Action!
So I saw his whole take on everything, and it was given a 4-week window to create my test makeups, and we'd shoot them here in LA, and then we'd be off to start pre-production in Canada, and then 2 months later start shooting.
They really wanted my vision realized through their makeup, and I feel like they also added to it and like went vastly beyond what I thought was possible.
And my whole approach to the actual look of the zombies was making anything up. Day in and day out, we just based everything on reality. So we built up reference images of real victims and real time-lapse of decomposition. And it made a lot of us pretty sick occasionally. But if you continue to do it every day, you become desensitized to it, and it became just another canvas, just another palette, just another set of colors. Where in fact, even now, it's been 6 months, I look back on that and kind of go, ugh. Basing it on reality, there's no room for censors. The fact is, it was all really disturbing. So I figured that was the filmmaker's job to either shoot it or not shoot it, or show it or suggest it. But if we delivered what we intended to deliver, which were realistic-looking zombies and horrific images, then it wasn't up to me to put it on camera. The burden was on them. My particular take on the actual look of the zombies was going to be broken down into 3 stages, and the first stage was the first act of the film, and the second stage is the second act, and the third final look of the zombies completes the film. You know, the first stage, the people that are in the beginning of the movie all kind of appear to be emergency room victims, or at least eligible to be seen in an emergency room.
The second you come to, you're like a stage 1 zombie. That's with no decay, just the injury that caused you to become a zombie.
Stage 2 were those same people 1 to 2 weeks later. So all the color has come out of them, all the wounds have dried up and darkened, and all the blood and mess that happened when they were killed is now all dried up and flaky and black. Stage 3 zombie is basically everything is just falling off of them.
They have bits hanging off, and they're rotten, and they smell bad. They're just gross.
Their skin is drawn tight all around their facial features, and you accentuate those by adding appliances and getting certain high points in their face to really pop out. To do a stage 3 makeup based on our designs, it was a very complicated, usually over 2 hours, sometimes up to 4 hour long makeup with appliances and all these various applications on the skin.
This is what I always look like.
There was 4 months of prep getting ready for what would be these huge days.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
There was probably days when there was well over 300 in full-blown stage 3 zombie makeup. For the entire month of August, there was just this round-the-clock mill effect going on at our shop.
We had no problem getting extras. Everybody was like, yeah. Sometimes they'd come and they'd spend the whole night shooting, and they looked like they're having a good time. Even the people were like, they should never make this movie, but since they're making it, I really want to be a zombie.
We were painting people up and creating a factory where, on a constant basis, we had to have zombies ready.
Just the volume alone is it's insane. But they were able to do that, and then also they were able to, when needed, get the detail of the individual zombies to be spot on and awesome.
We had the zombie makeup room, we had the zombie makeup tent, and then we had the trailer trash zombies coming from our trailer camp. There was a crew of anywhere from 7 to 10 makeup artists who had 2 to 4 hours to complete what was called hero makeups. And the trailer zombies were complete with prosthetics and teeth and sometimes lenses. And then the makeup room zombies were paint job makeups only, with no appliances. And at any given point, you could have up to 20 makeup artists and 10 hairstylists in that room, processing extras to the tune of about 2 an hour. So we've got a lot of makeup artists coming in, and they don't have to bring anything. They just get their zombie kit. It's got their zombie palette in it, and all the colors are predetermined, and we give a little pep talk on what we want to emphasize that night, and then they come in and do it. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. We'd give them photographic references and say, within these guidelines, within this face right here, go to town. So no bite here. He's had that traditionally. Just mess him up. Okay. Mangled, dead, dry. I'd have a line of 20 makeup artists with this customized palette in front of them. Some of them felt confined and some of them really excelled. The tents were where we would hand out the masks. There was 60 pullover masks, and there was close to 80 Halloween-type face masks that were all one-of-a-kind creations that we made in the shop. We made up our field of Stage 3 zombies with the best makeups of the day, followed by the best masks of the day. Behind them, another set of masks that were a little less elaborate, and then behind them, the masses of extras who were in relatively simplified makeup. They're all dealt with, and they were all put through the makeup mill. But if they called for everybody on set and we still had 15 or 20 people that were not processed at all, we'd still take them all to set. We'd put them in the back, and while they're rehearsing, we'd walk back there with Hudson sprayers and blood and goop and vomit and gore, and we'd just muck them up from about 3 feet away. And sometimes those makeups worked better at a distance because they were bolder. You just hit them with this massive amount of goo.
It was hot too, so you had some of these guys out there in the middle of the day in the parking lot, like just cooking under these giant latex masks they were wearing.
The extras up there in Canada were great about coming back and repeating their role despite the conditions. We were lucky to have a lot of dedicated folks.